Hi everyone, welcome to Chambers, Alaska. Again, this is Jarrett Chambers with Chambers Real Estate Services. I'm a licensee and owner here in the state of Alaska, operating primarily in Anchorage in the Mat-Su Valley. If this video provides you any value, go ahead and hit like, share, and subscribe, and to get updates. And it really helps with the algorithm as we continue to grow this channel. So thanks for being a part of it. We appreciate every single one of you, and we don't take it for granted. So thank you for being part of this. As far as today, what we've seen over the last couple weeks has been a political earthquake, so to speak, that's going to affect government, but also monetary policy most likely, which will affect the economy. So it's good to be aware of it. With about a week ago Saturday, there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, and as we're sorting through that, they are grilling the Secret Service director right now. So there's some unanswered questions, and I'm sure we'll shake that out in the long term, hopefully, if the government does its job. And we probably have our opinions on how well the government does its job at times, but the nice thing about being Americans is we get to have a say in who is in our government. And so if we like it, we can continue it, or if we don't, we can change. One of the things, though, that with that occurring, we are going to see probably some things happening in the financial markets over the term. Like, for example, Bitcoin increased dramatically the day of the assassination attempt. The following week was what we'll most consider to be a pretty successful Republican National Convention, culminating with President Donald Trump giving his acceptance speech. Some thought it was pretty moving, and we'll see what happens there. Of course, then Robert F. Kennedy had many things to say in the aftermath, and we'll see if he gets a bump as well. And then lastly, we had over the weekend a lot of mounting pressure on the current sitting president, number 46, Joseph Robinette Biden, and he wound up actually resigning, pulling out of the race. He didn't resign the presidency, but he is now out of the race, or out of contention even. So there's going to be a process for what happens with all the delegates that he won as part of the primary process to become president, and then get nominated. So they're going to be nominating a new presidential candidate. So this whole field has been shaken up. What does that mean? We don't really know, but what we think is that with either Donald Trump or with Robert F. Kennedy, we're going to see quite a bit of activity in the market regardless. I know that Robert F. Kennedy, his platform is heavily bent, or rather leans on home ownership in the U.S., which is a big driver of the economy. Donald Trump, he has a platform where he's going to reduce interest rates so that we can spur some of the economic growth that occurs, home purchases and rental properties and real estate transactions being part of that. And so looking ahead, or rather looking behind about a month, we had a Federal Reserve press release on June 12th. Now on June 12th, what it stated in the Federal Reserve press release was that recent indicators indicate that the economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. Job gains have remained strong, and the unemployment rate has remained low. Inflation has eased over the past year, but remains elevated. Okay, so this is what they're doing, is they're trying to combat inflation by controlling the interest rates. So as you're printing less money, then what happens is you bring inflation down. The more money you print, the more inflation you have. So this is something that the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, but it's appointed by the positions, or is appointed by the president, is trying to combat that inflation. So it seems like we're coming up on the point where the Federal Reserve is about to say, hey, I think we're okay right now. So we can either reduce those rates or keep them flat and not increase them anymore. I don't have a crystal ball, but it appears like that the committee is progressing perhaps towards some kind of reduction in interest rates. Could that be because we have a new administration coming in, because it's not going to be Joe Biden anymore, it's going to be Trump, Harris, most likely, or whoever the Democrats decide to nominate, or Robert F. Kennedy. It looks like Trump is leading in the polls, but who knows what's going to happen. But it indicates that the Federal Reserve may be getting ready. If that's the case, then we would be looking at them getting ready to possibly reduce rates. Now, the FOMC, which is the governing body that determines the rates for the Federal Reserve, which determines all the other interest rates, including mortgage interest rates or general loan rates, is set to meet on July 30th. So right now it's July 22nd. And so we're about a week and a half away from getting a determination from the Federal Reserve, where we expect Jerome Powell to announce what that's going to look like. Who knows what's going to happen? But if there is a reduction in interest rates, then we're going to see a reduction in the home interest rates, which means buying a home is going to be easier. That doesn't, or more affordable. It doesn't, at least from a mortgage interest rate perspective. Will that mean that then it increases demand and that housing prices will go up? Probably, but not appreciably. There's some literature out there about what it looks like for every increase or every 1% increase in interest rates, what that looks like as far as a increase in value. So we'll see. So if we see a decrease, in interest rates, we should see a appreciable increase in housing prices, but probably not too terrible because it does take a little while for it to catch up. So we'll see. What does that mean long term? Long term, that probably means, especially here in Alaska, that we're going to see some job growth, and we're with the New Willow project, because we are an energy state. We're starting to see some optimism as far as the general economy, because we are so heavily dependent on minerals and oil extraction. It's also interesting to see that with the electric vehicle market and electric vehicle batteries, lithium iron phosphate and nickel, there are some mineral extraction that is occurring here in Alaska, so we may see an uptick in that as well, which would help the overall economy. So for housing prices, it probably means a more stable housing market, but we certainly do need to probably need some lower interest rates to get to a point where we can actually start to increase the rate of home building, because we have a hungry market right now. Just if you're in the market right now and you're looking at houses in the Anchorage Bowl or Mat-Su Valley, very shortly, within 30 days of, based off the absorption rates we're seeing, within 30 days of your normal 3-bedroom, 2-bath, less than 2,000 square foot home is gone in 30 days with multiple offers. So we're in that type of market. We'd like to see that to be a little bit more normalized, so it's a little more fair to both sides. But sellers seem to be doing very well right now. Buyers are having a hard time. One, qualifying because of high interest rates, so it's to bring those interest rates down would be helpful, but then you're going to have more qualified buyers and not as much houses, so you have to have a requisite increase in those housing, available housing. So with that being said, we will see, but stand by for July 30th to determine what was going to happen with those federal rates, and then we'll see how that affects mortgage rates and the general housing market here. If you're looking for housing, please let us know. Reach out to us. Our information is in the link below, and we'd love to help you. It's Chambers Real Estate Services, and thanks for following our channel. And just remember, with real estate agents, it's good to find the right one. So whether it's us or somebody else, make sure that you really take your time finding the right person. But also keep in mind that with real estate agents, it's better to have laid some groundwork and talked to agents that you think could be a good fit, because it's better to have one and not need one and have that relationship than to need one and not have one. And when you want to hit that market, it's nice to have somebody at the ready who's already heard your criteria and what situation you're in and who can help you through that loan qualification process. We have resources here who can help you. So once again, thanks for visiting Chambers, Alaska. Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you need to call us, 907-565-5665. Thanks, and make it a great day.